If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon to get the latest updates.
Yesterday we discussed about the rebate, but how different is this from an ECC perspective to an S4HANA perspective? That's why this PPT I've just made. I've just aligned this. So when you talk about your ECC, okay. So when talk about the ECC process. So ECC process where we used to have your billing documents and we used to write from the customizing, right? All your document type, all these things, plus your customer master, right? KNVB, which is your customer master, where you used to create a pricing and it used to update your VBox table. Right now we have a VBox table and we used to determine all your billing documents from your VBOF transaction that used to get updated to a VBox table. And from there, it used to trigger all your rebate agreements. It used to go and settle your rebate agreements. Wherein now there's a change in the way it has been aligned. I said they have eliminated those tables now. It's all about how you are defining your rebate now. So first thing in a rebate is basically where I create something called as condition contract. So here, the first step is, sorry, 1 minute. Okay. Condition contract. So in the condition contract which I create, I define the type of condition contract. It could be a sales rebate. It could be a purchasing rebate. Right there itself, first itself decides what is going to be my type. So this condition contract decides who are all my eligible partners. Right? Who are all the business partners or who are all the customers or the vendors or suppliers, whoever is aligned for this particular rebate. Right? So then on what basis when I'm defining my condition contract, what basis my business volume determination is going to be? When I say my business volume determination, what value combinations it's going to consider? Right? Is it going to consider the customer or the material combination? Like how you are going to align this to a rebate? Then under this condition contract, I'm going to do something called as settlement type. Right? And the calendar. When I say calendar is going to be aligned to what sort of settlements it's going to happen. So I can have a partial settlement. Right? When you see a rebate in a year, it'll be spread across a year. Right? So the customer will say every 3 months or every quarter or every 4 months, right? Do one partial settlement. At the end of the year, like I'll have 3 partial settlements and one final settlement at the end of the year. Right? That's where, because I have think when I'm settling it at the end of the year, I'll be a final settlement. Right? And there could be something called as delta accruals. Whenever you are doing on a monthly basis or something you want to settle it, that will all become something delta settlements. Or they call it delta accruals. Right? So now when I'm doing the settlement, so I'm going to specify which day I'm going to do a partial settlement. Which day I'm going to do a final settlement. I'm going to define the timeline. That's why they call it as a settlement type and the calendar, settlement calendar. Right? So now once I do it, then once I set my business partner, then I define all my conditions in the condition contract. When I say conditions, they are aligned with REA1 is one condition, which is your rebate based condition. RES1 is basically where your accruals are all aligned. So this is a scale based condition. This RES1 is a scale based condition. Then once this condition contract is created, this condition contract will be active only when it is released. The condition contract has to be released. Once only the release condition contract will be effective, will be into effect once it is active. Next, I want to check every time I'm going to settle it out, right? Before I do the settlement, I need to check the business volume determination, right? So how this business volume determination is going to be? It's going to be based on my DB views, I said, right? So it's going to be based on my DB views. So in this DB views, so I said there will be two DB views, WCB underscore VBRK underscore VBRP underscore BV. This is a DB view. And parallelly, there's one more DB view, WB2 underscore VBRK VBRP underscore 1. So these two DB views are going to fetch this, because at the end of the day, it has to go and check my billing documents, right? What is going to be the field? Field is going to be your NETWR, which is nothing but your amount field, right? Business volume is purely going to be determined what is going to be my net value on a billing document. That's where it is being triggered for a settlement, right? So this is basically first is it has to go and check the business volume. Every time we do it partial or final, on that particular day where you aligned your settlement calendar to, it will go for a business volume determination. Next, then I go to a settlement part. There will be something called as your settlement run, right? It will be having your settlement run. When it does the settlement run, so based on your whether it is a partial or a final or a delta accrual, it will be triggering your settlement, right? So whenever the settlement happens, the accounting entries, because it is not going to create a credit memo request, it's directly going to create a credit memo here. And the accounting entries are going to be your customer rebate is going to be having a credit, and your sales rebate are going to have a debit, right? This is either for a partial or for a final settlement, right? Then that's when you'll be checking your accounting end. This will be your accounting entries. It will be aligned with your rebate. Now let us get into the settlement thing. First, let me create one settlement contract and then align this to we'll create a sales order and see how it's getting settled. Let me open the system. Okay. So now, first step is basically creating a condition contract. So let me parallelly write some of the transactions which are being used. So your settlement contract, first is you create your condition contract. The transaction is now it's, you see previously we had your transactions. Now this is the transaction. WCOCO. COCO is nothing but condition contract. So this is a transaction. It is WCOCO. I'll get into the configuration. Currently, I'm just showing you the transactions. Then we'll get into the configuration to explain. Let me split it up in a different way so that I'll explain the configurations. WCOCO. In this WCOCO, I go ahead and create your condition contract. First is I'll create a condition contract type to be of a sales rebate settlement. I'm creating a sales rebate. In the sales rebate, I click on the sales rebate, automatically it'll ask for a sales organization, distribution channel and division. I'll just enter the customer. So if I'm creating a sales order for a customer for a which period to which period, I'll create it for today so that I can do a final settlement and show it today itself. 20th. Right now, business volume selection criteria. On what basis I'm going to define my business partner? I'll basically measure it by customer. Okay, 1 minute. I think customer settlement data. Settlement data is going to be based on account receivables And what is relevant for contract determination is from customizing. So there will be customizing settings which will be pulled in when your settlement happens. Again, everything is going to be based on your customizing or your configuration there. Settlement calendar. I'll create a settlement calendar. I'll do a final settlement for today. Right? I'll do a final settlement for today. Okay. Now, when I talk about conditions, I was telling there are two major conditions. One is basically called as your REA1. It's used to trigger your accruals. Next, it's used to start triggering your accruals. Next, I have one condition type, which is nothing but your RES1. I'll show you these condition types. This RES1 is a scale based. So I'll make a scales in such a way that based on the scales, if I say, for example, I'll give you a 1000 value for which I'll giving you a 2% rebate. So if the scale is going to be, I'm just going to enhance the scales. If it's going to be a 2000 value, it is going to have a rebate of 3%, right? So I'll just set this particular scales there. Now, if I go, I'll review everything, whichever has been aligned. Business volume selection criteria is going to be based on customer, settlement data, settlement calendar. Okay, I'm going to define it. Then I go to my conditions area, because everything you see, I'm putting it, everything I'm entering it in my condition contract, right? So everything is entered in the condition contract. Okay. What I'll do is I'll just release this condition contract. This condition contract is released. I save this condition contract. Now I get a number for this condition contract. This again based on number ranges. I'll show you in this document type of your condition contract. Now what I'll do is I'll create a condition. I'll create a sales order just to show how do I settle this particular thing. Condition. I'll just enter it. I'll try to map the quantity. What is the quantity net value coming up to? 1000. So what I'll do is I'll keep 22 so that it is crossing this 2200 and see how much of it's crossing 2000. I'm giving a 3% credit. I'll put it as 22. I save this. Okay. Now my sales order is created. Now I'll create a delivery. I'll do a picking. I'll do the entire picking. PGI. Okay. Now I'll do a billing. Okay. So today the billing date. Checks my billing. Check the billing output once. Okay. Billing output. Okay. Save this billing. It is hit the. Let me go and check if the journal entries are created. This is my thing. So this is the one. Okay. The journal entries are created. Accounting entries, domestic. Okay. So this is basically based on this. Now you see the GL view. Okay. So I'm just checking it out from my end. Okay. So this is an RV, right? Which is basically from your standard. Now, this is an accounting document. Now I need to settle this off. So I've created a rebate. I've created a rebate condition contract. Now I'll have to settle this condition contract. So for settlement of this condition contract, I'm going to have a condition contract is created using WCOCO. Now I'll have to check the business volume. The transaction is WB2R underscore BUSBOL. This transaction, I'm going to enter this WB2R underscore BUSBOL business volume, right? This is my condition contract number. So against this condition contract, it is going to check my business volume. You see here, my rebate business volume is 2,200 USD. Right? So total business volume is captured, under which against this business volume, I'm going to trigger my settlement data. Now, transaction for creating. Now I've created my rebate. I've checked my business volume determination. Now I'm going to trigger my settlement. Settlement is going to be based on WB2R underscore SC. SC is nothing but for a customer. Similarly, when you're doing a settlement for a organized purchase order, WB2R underscore SB. Right? Let me look at now at SC, which is basically settlement for a customer. SC is nothing but settlement for a customer. You see the business, the transactions are, these are all standard. WB2R is basically for a settlement related ones. All W start with settlement management, and business volume is basically business volume. SC is nothing but settlement for a customer. SV is nothing but settlement for a customer, for a vendor. That's how we can easily align or remember those transactions. So let me put this particular transaction. WB. So now your business volume is aligned at 2000 WB2R underscore SC. Right? What is my settlement date? 20th today. So it's going to be a final settlement. I'll do a live run itself first. Let it run because it has to go and do the settlement. What is the error now? 1 minute, 1 minute. Some transfer condition type. JP1U. What is this JP1U? 1 minute. Let me. Right. 1 minute. What is this JP1U? JP1U. One minute. I think someone has gone out and changed it here. 1 minute. Pricing. One minute. So yes, we see. Let me check this. So for one thing, final settlement, they're trying to error during the price determination of the document. Okay. JP1E. Current pricing procedure. Let's go on this. So let me go to the billing document. pricing procedure. JP1E, JP1U, condition record. JP1U. This is not there, 1 minute. Let me just give me a minute. Let me check my condition. This one, let me check this. It's picking from the billing document. 1 minute. It's a rebate. Check the business volume. Just checking against this condition contract of. So let me check this 1 minute. Check for the customer. Okay, this is some tax conditions. So my document type is I've taken war. Customer pricing procedure, document pricing procedure is A. Customer pricing procedure. Okay. Customer pricing procedure. A and 01. Okay. So in this A and 01. Pricing procedure 2. Change this. I create one sales order now. It was under this thing, right? J01, right? Okay, so there is some issue here. Tax condition JP1U. Okay, JP1U, JP1E. Who has added these conditions here? So let me copy this. What I'll do is I'll copy this. I'll remove these conditions. Let me make one Z. Copy all. Let me check this 1 minute. Pricing. Oh, sorry. Where did I put this? Sorry.
CS area you have not, you have taken wrong.
Oh, okay. Yeah. 1000 A and 01, right? 1 minute.
Yes.
01. Let me put this. Let me check this. I'll put this order quantity to be 22. Let us see. These are creating only the PPR0 is copied, is it? Okay. Let me put the same old thing. Y17101. Oh, sorry. 1710. A and 01. Let me check this 1 minute. Because my condition contract is going to be based on this. So I put my order quantity to be 22. Let us see. Okay, this is hitting you. This is having an issue with the thing tax condition JR1. So 101. Ten 00 A and 01. Okay, so we put it as this one. Let me put this because this one has this one is what we were having. And let me check this. Sorry. Okay. JPU one U. I think this is not a mandatory. Let me check if I can delete this. Okay, I'll put this as 2%. The business document. Okay, now let me save this. Don't think so it's creating issues, but in the billing, this is coming up in the I'm picking it, and then I'm doing a postcodes issue. So I go to my VF01. Let me get to the condition types. Okay, this is where it is coming, creating issues here. JP1U.
This is below one. JP1.
Below one, right? JP1U. Condition record has been found, it says. 1 minute. 1I. Condition record has been found. JP1U. Where exactly?
It is 0%. That's why it is creating issue. Or if you maintain any 1 or 2%, I think then it will.
No, it's not allowing. You cannot maintain
No,
this condition. Yeah.
no, we will because you are giving the manually. I think that is why
Manually you are giving it. Yes. Manually.
we have to give the
Condition
record.
record
Yes,
directly.
yes.
So 1 minute wait. I don't know. Someone has gone ahead and changed this here. This is not there till date. We never had this issue. So checking this, they are going and touching the standard pricing procedure. Okay.
Or in B/06 we can create this manually. We can change the configuration.
1
Allow the
minute.
manually.
Okay. V/06
06.
JP1U, right? 1 minute. We can do that. JP1U. What happened?
Okay, this condition we will get it.
This is it's a tax based price. This is a tax condition, right?
Yes.
Mm. Uh, 1 minute. Country US. Tax code. The tax code is tax jurisdiction. We need to know. I think this will have to
Ram, can you check in FV12?
F
FV?
FV12. No,
Yeah.
that's what I'm just checking FV12 only.
Okay.
Key combination. Taxes based on jurisdiction code. Tax code is 1 minute. It is there. So maintain 4%. Let me maintain this. Save it. right? So, well, I'll maintain this JP1U. JP1U, JP1E. Okay, sorry, key combinations. Okay, so FV12,
Yeah.
JP1E, JP1U, and there's one more thing, right? 1 minute. JP1E, JP1U, and JP1I, right? We had 3 things. JP1I, JP1I. Okay, key combination. The Georgia. Okay, let's save this. Let us see now creation of a sales document. They're doing trans JP1U. Okay, 1 minute. FV12, JP1U. That's code 1 minute. Tax code is basically what are the different tax codes? FTXP. Country is US. Tax code is put it under taxable, right? Tax. We create it. Let us see whether it is going to trigger any. So put an order segment of so this is conditions. So this has got populated, but JP1U is having a now it's got populated, right? So okay. JP1U is having a negative, so FV12. So we can go it for JP1U key combination, same tax code, O1, okay. And, this for Georgia, right? One more. To create this here any. Let us check this because this is not even delete this I feel, right? Okay, so
Yeah.
JP1U now it is there. Let me check this. Okay, so now We go to VF01. Because someone has gone and changed it. So this one, conditions, so holding the same issues there. Delete this here. Okay. So now WB2R underscore SC.
You have taken wrong.
Sorry. WB2R underscore BUSVOL. So under this 18 is the condition contract. Let us see now. I think now the error is fixed. In that document also, let me check if that. So 4,400 is coming up. WB2R underscore SC. So let me go for a check run. Let me check. One settlements. Okay, so in that particular document, so what is my 3.8, right? So we had 138 conditions. JP1U, it is not getting passed, right? Okay, so that's why it is taking up. Now let me already this is accounting documents are cancelled, right? So it will not change is not there. Change only. Doing updation. Okay, what I'll do is I'll create it for a different customer. Let me create it for a different customer so that we'll create a sales rebate for a different customer and then check this one. So that will make sales is there, business volume selection criteria. I'll maintain specific to a customer. Okay, settlement data, settlement calendar. I'll make one thing based on your 20. Okay, now I'll put up the scales to be if it's 1,000 USD, I'll put up a 2% rebate. The same thing if it is crossing 2,000 USD, I'll put up here 2%, 3%. Okay, so I'll just release this condition contract, save it. Condition contract number. Let me, because we had two documents there, so probably one had this condition record, one doesn't have it, right? So it's creating an issue and it's going into a. So this is for that's two, right, to the customer. Okay, so I'll just put it as 11. Let me check order quantities 22. Let me check. So here also it is not picking up.
So Ram, if we copy the pricing procedure and delete these condition types.
So 1 minute, wait. That's what I'll have to do now. I don't know why who has gone ahead and this thing. But standard pricing procedure, I don't know who has gone ahead and changed this. But if you see, this is not picking up in this pricing procedure.
Yes.
Right? That is the major problem. So, but in the sales order, it is getting triggered. But here it is not getting picked up for me to change this. Even if it's not just part of the standard, someone has gone ahead and added this pricing procedure.
So Ram, you check the sales order system is picking this pricing procedure or any other pricing
1
procedure. We
minute.
go to the header.
1 minute, 1 minute, wait. So let me go to. Okay, 1 minute. This one, right? Okay, so when I create a sales order, 1 minute.
Yeah, go to the header.
Okay.
So here, this is the pricing procedure by 701. Ram, go to the sales tab. Sales tab.
Okay.
Here is the pricing procedure.
Yeah, this is the same pricing procedure.
517J01.
J01.
And
Wherein
and this pricing procedure doesn't have these condition types.
this condition types.
And when we are going to the analysis,
so this is at the header level, right?
Yeah, this is the header level, item level.
Item level data.
If we go to the analysis,
conditions, analysis, Y71J01. Here also it is not picking up. You see, here also JP1E. All these things are getting picked up. Okay, see now. Okay. So let me make it 0 then. So in the FV11, it was FV12 under the JP1U, it was giving me a 0, right? Let me make this, it was making a negative thing. That's 1. Okay, key combination. 1. A block by, okay. Let me check this. So this one, when I go here, come out of the sales order, VA01, let me check this. Item account conditions, analysis, JP1U. It's not picking up this condition. Oh, this is for California region. This is for Georgia, right? What happened? Maintain for which region? 1 minute. We maintain for Georgia. Is the same, right? A and 01. We maintained it under J01. E/08 under this Y17J01 pricing procedure is not there, right? This one is not there. But when I create a sales order, search for different customer now, to it's having the same customer pricing procedure 01. O1. Georgia, right?
Ram, I think it's issue in the calculation procedure. Somebody has assigned the wrong tax IN and tax INJ. Like that, somebody has assigned a wrong pricing calculation procedure. If you go to the IMG,
1 minute, wait.
Yeah,
Okay, 1 minute. SAP under your financial accounting,
financial
right?
accounting and global setting.
Mhm.
Yeah, financial accounting and global setting. Up top.
Global settings. Okay. 1 minute, wait. Okay. Here on tax on sales and purchases.
Yes,
Basic settings. Okay.
check calculation procedure.
Procedure.
Maybe this one. No, not. I think not this one.
Assign country to
Assign
the
country to calculation procedure. Maybe this.
calculation procedure.
Here you got US. Yeah,
Tax USJ only.
yeah.
Tax USJ only. Check and change settings. Someone has gone and changed this. 1 minute.
Yes.
Condition types, tax jurisdictions. Okay, now it's costing. Okay. Calculation. Tax codes for sales and purchases. Tax code. This is the same FTXP, right?
Yeah.
Same
Yes.
XP.
This is FTS. Here also we can find the condition types now, which we are not getting in VCR06 and our pricing procedure. So in that tax UHA pricing procedure, we can get the condition types as well, I think.
1 minute. So this is based on the company code. Base amount, tax codes. Tax accounts. Again, chart of accounts.
Yes, yes, this is not.
Withholding taxes, tax code, okay, IO, output tax, IO, right? This is basically our output tax is this one. Tax jurisdiction code is this one. This is the input output in the jurisdiction code. Transfer design account.
No, actually, tax USJ pricing procedure. Inside that, what are the condition types adjust? Actually, we can check that one.
Oh, under the
Yes,
tax
yes,
procedure.
yes. Yes, under the tax procedure, what are the condition types are there?
Okay, that you can check in sales itself, right? Under the sales thing, 1 minute, wait. So this one, under your sales and distribution, sorry, under your sales, basic functions, taxes, tax determination rules. See, this is UTXJ. Country code. Plant level. Okay, so 1 minute. Oh, wait, let me show you some existing things. Let me check this later on. So, 11 or something. This one I checked it out now. I'm not sure why it is. That time, let me check on that particular day, 2 right? Let me check what is the billing. Whether this was there or VRK. What happened? 2/21, right? 2021. For a customer only, I've created this. So I think there was some refresh on the system here. That is where last they had refreshed the system. Okay, let me check that. So here, when I see this condition contract, the similar way I've executed this. So the similar thing. So if you see underscore BUS BOL, right? So WB2R underscore BUS BOL. So the same condition contract, what is the business volume is 1,755. As per the condition contracts, when I do the settlement run, so it should be giving me as against the value of for same thing. I have set it up for 1,000 USD. It is 1%, and if it is between crossing to 2,000 USD, now minus 1,755, right? So a credit memo got generated once I triggered this, and it has taken this 1%. So the 17.55 that dollar has been aligned for this credit memo. I want to see the accounting entries. Customer and a rebate will be on the trade individual. Customer will be on the and the rebate account will be onto the Right? That's where basically your entire thing is based on your sales rebates now. Now, having aligned this, your entire set of entries, so your rebate will be onto your debit and your customer account will be onto your credit. That's where your final settlement has been triggered. And when you see your document type, this is your DG customer credit memo, right? So this is not your normal credit memo. It's a DG customer. It's a customer based credit memo. So customer based credit memo, which is aligned to this document, which is predominantly a finance based document. Right? And the accounting entries have been aligned to this. Tax portion, yes. Okay, and when you see the entries here, when I go to my header pricing elements, right? First is it used to go and check your what is the rebate calculation will be based on your 1% of your rebate, right? Total value as against this, it's going to calculate your 1%. So based on it's calculating it in the header level. When you see your item level, pricing elements for a customer, so it's calculating this. Based on this, it's going ahead and giving you this 1755. This is your alignment. So when you see here, it basically checks here, it triggers your rebate to 4%. And RES1, it's going to actually calculate your rebate and it's going to align this to this thing. So it is going to give you a total. There's a condition record. And see here, there is a different pricing procedure. How do you align to this pricing procedure? When you see this particular pricing procedure, so in previously we used to have a rebate of 24 where we used to align this. Now, so now, when you see this particular rebate, so this will be predominantly having your specifically to a rebate. So it will be having your rebate business volume, RES1, and with the taxes. Then it used to calculate your rebate accrual settlement. It used to hold your rebate accruals and based on which it used to go your unmapping. So the accruals are going to be under this OS1, right? So this is basically going to be your accruals based on which it's going to go ahead and OS1, which is basically your accounts key will be your OS1, the standard rebate. Now, when I want to trigger this for a configuration wise, right? So now with this thing, your rebate settlement is thing. So the transaction is WLFA. You can go to your directly settlement management, or now your settlement management is under something called as logistics general. Previously it was under sales, under your billing. Now it's under logistics general. Under that you have something called as settlement management. So settlement management. So first thing is I'm creating a condition contract. You're defining a condition. So let me break it down. They break the section into first is I'm creating my condition contract. So there is something called as condition contract management. So there are 3-4 things under this. One is a condition contract conditions. First, I'm aligning this condition contract conditions. So 1 minute. So go to the sales. Want to define your purchasing as well. If I go and create first, let me create one for purchasing as well parallelly. So here I'm defining a purchasing rebate based on my goods receipt. I'm aligning a supplier. Because I'll try to show you 20th. I think there should not be any issues over here. 20th. Similar thing, your sales, your purchasing, so based on your purchasing organization, purchasing group, company code. Business volume selection criteria. Supplier. I'll just enter this particular supplier number. Right, settlement data from purchasing rebate. Settlement calendar. I'll specifically maintain this as 20th. Right, now the conditions. Similar conditions. REA1 is aligned for purchase this thing. RES1. Or maybe I'll put it as, okay, let me put the scales as $1,000 USD. I'll put a 2%. $2,000 USD. For purchasing rebate, 3%. I release my this thing, save this. What happened? Oh, what happened? Scale unit. Sorry. I just didn't put the scale unit. Okay, so here USD. I'm going to save this. So I get my condition contract. This for a purchase. Now I create a purchase order for this particular purchase organization, purchase group. Item overview. I'll create for a material quantity. I'll maintain it as maybe a 20 quantity. Let me see the net value. Net value. Oh, 20 is huge. So I'll just put it for 3 quantity. It's crossing 3,000. Okay, let it be. I'm entering the plant. I'm saving this. Save. Purchase order number is created. Now based on the GR, I've done it, right? So I'll do a GR. I'll do a MIGO. Purchase order. Oh, 1 minute. What is the purchase order number? Creation now created by going under this thing, right? 1 minute. purchasing document. Release. Okay. These all these things. Save it. Under this VP. Release. Okay. So this is going to be. Now I go to your Migo. Okay. So quantity, material, quantity, where? Check. Post. Now let me check the business volume against this particular condition contract. WB2R underscore BUS VOL. So this is the one. 3000 business volume. Now WB2R underscore SV. SV is basically for your settlement for a vendor. I give my settlement date to be 20th. I'll do a live run. So here in this case, on contract settled without errors. There also, because there also it will have done, but there is some taxing issue. So you see here there is a settlement document which is done. Now I go to WCOCO to see the settlement. It will be an invoice here. So under this thing, so you see here, it will be under an. It will be aligned to an invoice. So invoice is basically it's a against your 3000 USD. It's going to settle against 3%. That means to say it's going to trigger at a $90. So your profitability segment, when you see here, okay, let me leave that for profitability. Come back. Accounting entries, accounting document. So here it will be a supplier and the sales tax accrued. That's why here. So there's a supplier whoever is going to get a rebate us $90. Based on which it has to be passed on. So there's a tax secured, total gain secured, it will be aligned to us. So this is about your, this is again the document type is basically you had your account assignment entries, RES1 and REFI. Heading, header. It's your customer invoice, which is your DR. Right? So this is based on your configuration here. Now, first is when I do the configs, as I said, first it goes to a condition contract conditions. I create for a sales condition. Here in the sales condition, first thing is I'll have to define my condition types. The quote conditions types being your REA1. REA1, where you define a condition type, is based on a discount percentage. This is an accrual based, and you have an access sequence which is REA1. And your calculation type is based on percentages, condition category is based on your general item. And it's a manual entry. And it's an accrual base. That's where you define it's an accrual based condition type. And pricing date is based on your billing date. Similarly, you have your REA1, you have your RES1. RES1, which is again based on your discount, calculation type is based on your percentages, and you have your access sequence RE01. A scale base is going to be, it's going to be a scale based value as I said. And you have one more thing, which is your REBV, which is going to store your business volume. REBV, which is going to store your rebate business volume based on a discount and the fixed amount and the item condition. It's not an accrual. And one more thing we should notice is there is no access sequence because it's going to store it's not going to determine the condition, it's just going to store the value. And there is one more thing called as REA5. It's going to be all your settlement value which needs to be aligned here. This doesn't also have an accident. It's a fixed amount and it's a discount based. It's a fixed amount and it's an item condition. There is no scales as well. This is an accrual based condition. So all these condition types, which has been aligned, right? So which has been aligned here. First is I'll have to get this thing relevant for a condition contract. So in a condition contract, it should all be aligned, right? All these condition types needs to be relevant for condition contract. Right? It should be relevant for your REA1 or REAS1, REBV. All these things should be relevant for a condition contract. So this is a settlement condition and they should be relevant for a condition contract determination. Next is I define something called as condition type groups. So I create a condition type group, which is standard OS0, which is for sales rebate. And you assign all the condition types to the condition type groups. Under this OS01, what are the condition types for the group? RES1, REA1, which will all have this tables. So when I see this particular table, so if I can go to the standard V/03, okay, V/03 is basically for the table. Okay, table name 4AB. Okay. One minute. Oh, RES1 for condition. Okay. So 163, sorry. This is for a sales. So it's going to trigger based on your condition contract and your material. Because this table is what I said. This is basically for your 4AB is going to be for your purchasing. So purchasing is going to be aligned to your M/04. M/04. So here 4AB. This is going to trigger based on your condition contract. And you have your REA1, which is going to be having a 4AB and 163, which is going to be based on condition contract and your material. Right? So this is going to be your basically your condition contract for group, which is going to be mapped. You're defining a condition contract. So the question is, now you have created a condition contract. So let me sequence it out. First is, stop me if there is anything. First is I'm creating a condition contract. I'm configuring a condition contract. For a condition contract, I'll have to define my condition types, right? Condition types for this, I'm creating a condition type groups. Assigning this condition types. First, I'm making this condition type relevant for condition contract determination. Right. This is the first thing. Right. Now my condition contract is, now what happens is, now I'll have to define my condition contract maintenance, condition contract creation, then condition contract maintenance. Now there is a separate set of settings here where I define my condition contract maintenance. So this condition contract maintenance is separate. So there are three sections. One is a condition contract creation, condition contract maintenance, and condition contract settlement. Now, what all things that comes in a condition contract maintenance? So you define your condition contract types. The condition contract types, when we created a sales rebate. When you see this particular sales rebate, this condition contract has to determine your number ranges. And this is specific to the customer, right? And let me open WLFA. Under that, I go to condition contract maintenance. So here I have defined my number ranges. Under this number range object, you see I got some number, right? 20019. How did I get this number? This is based on the number range, which is assigned to my number range. And there is something called as condition contract category. Condition contract category. I define a condition contract category, which is going to be my sales rebate. Right? So it's going to be a sales rebate, which is going to be my customer rebate or sales rebate. I'm going to have this condition contract category. And now the condition sales condition type groups are there, right? Now I assign this condition contract category groups. So we created a groups, right? In our condition contract conditions, we created a condition type groups where we assign the condition type. So now I'm trying to relate this condition type groups, which is created. Now this condition type groups, I'm assigning this condition types, right? So the condition type groups. So all this condition REA1, RES1, which was aligned as
'Ram, access sequence is also there where we can get.
yes. Access sequence is also there. 1 minute, let me show you that. REA1 and RES1 had an access sequence. I'll show you that. One minute. Let me relog in. 1 minute. Relog into the system. Okay. I go to my condition contract management, condition contract conditions, sales, assign your condition contract types. Okay. So OS01, we defined a condition contract types. So when you see your RES1, right? You said you have access sequence, right? When I go to V/06, what's a condition type? RES1. RES1, right? RES1 has a access sequence. Now, in order to go to the access sequence, V/07, right? We go to the access sequence, RE01. So RE01 is going to be based on your accesses. It's going to have this 163, 4AO, and a 4AB condition type. And this is going to have the exclusivity. And we'll see the fields, specifically when you see your 163. Those fields, right, which you saw, your COCO number and your MATNOR. And it's going to check your release status and the processing status. And similarly, when you're seeing your condition contract and your METI customer, it's going to take your customer and your condition contract. Sometimes we might create only your material, and it's because selection criteria is going to be based on your this thing. Now, when you see here, condition contract based on only on the condition contract number. These are all going to be your access sequence. Now, our thing is based on okay. We defined our condition type groups. Okay, so you defined your condition type groups here, whatever is there. So automatically your condition type groups, all these things have been aligned to this condition types, which are aligned to the condition groups are directly aligned to this condition contract type. Then going back to condition type groups. So going back to so there is something called as field status groups. So field status groups are nothing but, so when you see here, define and configure your field status groups. So you see here, there is a field status group of OS. So you see here, under this thing, under a sales rebate, I'm creating a field status group. Right. So what and all the entries? So when we whatever under this field status group. So when you see this particular, it's a sales rebate. I'm defining my field status group. So under this field status group, I'm entering all these things. So we see here OS01 is a field status group. Under this OS01, what all entries needs to be hidden or required entries, right? So it asks for a sales distribution channel, divisional sales organization, right? So it will all be required entries here. So that's the reason when you create this particular OS01, it will show what are all required entries that will be based on your field status group. And you have something called as text determination, OS, which is be a sales rebate. So here, if I go back, under this thing, they have something called as text control. Text control, we have a header text. And this based on your text determination procedures. So OS is going to be a sales rebate, sales-based text determination procedure. Text types for a text determination procedure based on which you have your internal text, external text, and a text for. So internal text is based on OS01. And your external text, because there's an internal text ID, external text ID. So based on your header and your header text, OS01 is going to be your internal text. Text types for eligible partner types. So you have a standard clients and claimants. You define your default text. So all these things which is configured in bits and pieces, I'm integrating under my condition type. I'm trying to put everything under my condition type, be it your number ranges, field status groups, condition contract categories, right? Everything I'm aligning it to my condition contract type. So here I have three sections. One is your condition contract, conditions, then condition contract maintenance. Right? Under this maintenance, we have all these things which is mapped under my condition contract types. Right? So this is the first thing. I define my condition contract types. Next, under my condition contract types, once I define, so let me put it again. So under my condition contract, so there are three sections as I mentioned. One is a condition contract conditions. Under my condition contract conditions, I've aligned this thing. Now coming to condition contract maintenance. Here, I'm defining my number ranges. I'm defining my field status groups. Text, right? Internal or external text. All these things, I'm mapping it under my condition contract type, right? So this is basically, I'm defining it my condition contract. Now, next section is going to be based on my condition contract settlement. When I say settlement here, when I do a settlement, what do I consider? I consider my business volume determination. Right? So I'll have to configure this towards your business volume determination, and that's going to be mapped under my condition contract types. So I go to my condition contract settlement. Condition contract settlement. Here, specify settlement settings for a condition contract types. So when you see your settlement settings, So I go to my sales rebate. What is my settlement settings? Okay. So now I create my condition contract. This is for a condition for a customer. There is something called as business volume determination. So when I go back, I go to my WLFA. I go to my condition contract management, condition contract settlement. First is I check my, what is my configure profiles for a business volume determination. Here, when you see my profiles, so first this is going to check what is going to be the tables, right? So I said first when it's going to check the business volume, what it is going to refer to is basically my DB views, right? I go for this particular thing, it has to go and refer to this particular DB view, right? This DB view will be accessed. And against this DB view, what are going to be my amount fields? It's going to check my OS01, it's going to check my, what is the total net value, right? And the selection groups. So first is it's going to check your business volume determination. So business volume determination, it's going to be based on first is going to check the table. That is your DB view. Next, it's going to check your net value. Which field is going to check your net value? NETWR. It's going to be net value. So it's going to figure your net value, and that's where your REBV condition type will get updated. Rebate business volume. Right. So we are defining your sales rebate. So that's where this is maintained under your condition contract type profile for a business volume determination. Then you set your field combinations. So when you see your field combinations, so you see here, I have my customer, supplier. So all these field combinations are maintained. So when I go and select my WCOCO under my under my sales rebate, you see here, I go to my business volume selection criteria. It should give me the list of fields, right? List of fields under which my selection is going to be happening. So all these things which is populated here, and this will be aligned to specific field assignments. If it's a customer, it's going to define my KUNNR field. Okay, KUNNR. If it's specifically for a supplier, if I'm doing for a supplier, it should go and specify my LFNR. Right? If it is basically my sales organization, it's going to be a VKORG. If it's purchase organization, it's going to be your EKORG. Right? Like this, the field levels, if it's going to be my material, it's going to hit my MATNR. Like this, all these field assignments and the field combinations are to be mapped. That's where you will have your set of field combination, which is mapped. Right. Next, what is going to be my settlement type? Settlement type is going to be based on my account receivables, right? Which is going to come over here. So whenever I create my condition contract types, so whenever I create my sales rebate, what is going to be my settlement data is based on my account receivables, right? It's going to be based on my account receivables, and which is going to be picked from your amount fields is going to be fixed from your sales rebate 01, right? So this is going to be your automatic settlements, standard entries. It's going to be my text type based on your sales rebate. Now coming down, so there is something called a settlement process type and settlement document type. Now I have defined my business volume determination now, right? So once it triggers it, so for example, my OS01 is going to be my condition contract type. Is going to be my condition contract type. This OS01, it has to have some, the backend it goes and checks something called as condition settlement process type, settlement process type, settlement document type. So settlement process type is going to be, I'll show you that. OS 10. Settlement document type is going to be OS 12. So how do you know this is linked to your OS 10? So OS 01 is going to be OS 10, 0s 12. So it's not OS 0s 12. Okay. Now, and when you see all these things, it will be mapped to your condition contract type for accruals, OS 01. So OS 01 is again linked through this, right? OS 01 is condition type for accruals. It's going to be linked to your condition type group. So it will have all the condition types mapped. And what is the saving the accruals when it's posted to accounts? When it's going to post to accounts, it's going to store all these things. And it is going to be picking your billing date. How it's going to be picking? Because it's going to pick your billing date based on which is going to go ahead and trigger all your approvals for your rebate settlements. Okay. So now this is going to be your condition contract. So you defined all your field combinations. Then you define your field combinations. You have defined your OS 01. You have to assign your field combination. So which is going to be your customer, right? And which is all going to be having your valid, whether it's valid for this particular OS 01. So OS 01 is valid for your, so you have multiple field combinations, right? Customer needs to be validated. So you have multiple fields, which is valid, which is set for this particular thing. You are activating it over here. This is aligned to metal group, material, whatever has been activated. That's when you'll be getting it when you're creating your sales rebate. So when you see here,
What is the group, Ram?
which one?
Yeah, this is the group. Group
This is the
B.
group. Yeah, group B. Group B is 1 minute. So you are going to define it based on my customer. So this is going to be a, because all these things will be based on exclusivity, because customer is already defining it under your this thing. Already you are defining it under a condition contract. That's the reason it is aligned to your group fee. So you are setting your field combinations. You are defining your field combinations here. Then you are setting your field combinations over here and setting for field combination. Then you define your configuration, your condition type groups. Condition types, whichever has been mapped, REA1 and REFI. REA1 which is mapped for your rebate accruals, and your REFI where it's going to store your rebate accruals under this. It's going to be mapped for this particular condition. Right? So then you configure your condition type groups. So if there's a condition type groups, because it's already done, so they don't need to do this extra entry here. So this is basically going to have your, this is going to have your settlement settings for your condition contract types, which is going to be your OS 01. Right? Which we saw now. Now, okay. Now which you saw. Now I said, we have something called a settlement process types, right? So when you see a settlement process types, so I go back to your condition contract types, where I go back, where do we check a settlement process type? It comes to something called a settlement process. Here you're defining a settlement process type. So here OS 01 was linking to your OS 10 or else 0S 10, which is your sales rebate. Right? So this is basically a settlement document, and this is supposed to be on the customer side. And what is the proposed business volume? It's going to picking using your pricing, right? And if there is any tax postings, post-tax amounts, it has to go and post it. Tax code determination basically from a price determination. Then what is your business process category, which is going to be a sales rebate, which is going to be a sales rebate. And this is all going to be your, so field status group, whatever we assigned OS 01, which is mapped to this thing. And your settlement document type from here will be triggering to your 0S 12. Right? So this is going to be your sales process type. Now, important thing. When I go to my basic settings, right, you have something called as pricing, right? So we have now come back something called as pricing, which is determined. So pricing is basically, here it is being determined based on your customer pricing procedure. So you have a customer pricing procedure, and You specify your pricing determination. So here, when I define my, 1 minute, you define under your schema groups. You define your schema groups for suppliers, if there is any specific on the suppliers. Then schema group for purchasing organizations. Then you define your schema group for purchasing organization, assign the schema group for purchasing organization to the purchasing order. This is similar to your pricing schema. Now coming to the sales schema, you define your customer pricing procedure. You are defining a customer pricing procedures and specifying a pricing procedure determination for billing documents, supplier billing documents. Or your, so when you see here, my sales rebate has been defined based on my document schema group, which is OS, and it's going to determine my pricing procedure. When I define my settlement documents under my OS, it's going to determine my pricing procedure. So how do I know this document schema group is my OS, right? So document schema group needs to be OS. Nowhere we have defined, right, in the system. We never seen there is a document schema group, which is your OS. That is defined under my settlement document. When I see my settlement document, I specifically do my settlement document types. So you have a settlement document. What is going to be my settlement document is my 0S12. Under this 0S12, so this settlement document is having a number range. Go back. You define your number ranges. Settlement document for number ranges. So you are getting this settlement document number. This is a 70, which is a number range, which is defined under this particular definition, under this particular number range. Now, I go to my settlement document under this 0S12. It's going to be a sales rebate. So how do I know this is basically my sales rebate settlement document? So when I go to my sales rebate, WCOCO, right? I have a settlement document number, right? So this is a credit memo which is created. What is my settlement document type? 0S12. The 0S12, when it gets determined, it goes and checks a number range group. Settlement document type is basically single document for a type of credit memo, right? And based on exchange rate, based on a posting date, it's going to be having the input tax and output tax based on your supplier and a customer input tax and output tax. I0, and we saw that, right? And when you want to see where this pricing procedure has to be determined is based on your master data C. Text determination is your OS. Text determination ID is going to be external text for output forms. Now coming down, you see here, how does it know this pricing procedure has to be determined? A17 something was there, right? This is based on your document schema group, OS. This document schema group is any which ways mapped under your WLFA. WLFA. So is this clear? Is this clarity there? What I'm trying to explain here? Basic settings under this pricing, under the sales, you're defining your condition tables, all these things, right? Condition, define your pricing procedures. So A7 1J5, this is the pricing procedure. Under this thing, you have this pricings which is coming up. But how do I know under, if I, for this particular document type, this pricing procedure needs to be triggered? That's where you define your customer pricing procedure. And you see here, you define your document schema, specify pricing procedure, determine for a supplier billing documents. OS needs to trigger this particular thing. This OS is assigned under this settlement document type here, right? And what is the journal entry type is basically a DG customer credit memo. It has to define, right? Under which one, what credit memo needs to be triggered. Your DG customer credit memo needs to be mapped. And your account determination is going to be based on your SD account determination. And what is the procedure for account determination? KOFR-S0, sales rebate. So how do I know this is going to be a K0FR 00? It is going to be based on my account determination, revenue account determination, account determination procedures. Because you have a standard COFI. Accounting keys, which is basically your rebate sales. So this OS1 is assigned to my rebate sales, right? So your account determination is basically going to be aligned to your account determination types. COFI for a sales rebate is KORS for sales rebate. COFI you have for normal account determination, especially for this thing, you're defining it under your KORS. It's going to be having the accesses, company code, and the condition contract type under accounting key. Okay, so you will see here under my condition. 1 minute. So that's where your entire account determination is going to be aligned. Sorry, 1 minute. It's going to be based on your procedure for your account determination. An accounting key for your is going to be your OS1, which is your rebate sales. OS1, wherever the rebate sales, it's going to hit your revenue account determination, procedure. It's going to be hitting your,
yeah, Ram, here we have assigned the account determination procedure for rebate.
Which one?
Because account determination procedure is for rebate is KORFS0. What is
Yeah.
so where we have assigned that to the billing type?
Yeah, here.
Yeah, this is the this is the account determination procedure.
This is the account determination procedure. This is the account determination procedure. KOFR, the FR is 0. So it's going to hitting your account. That's where you have your OS1, which is going to be your rebate sales, right? So when you see this particular account determinations, so V/08 A17J05 is going to be a pricing procedure. OS1, right? Your rebate, all your accounting keys. It's going to hit your rebate accruals. And you have your accrual key, REA2, if there is anything, and all your OS01, OS1, which is going to having your accrual key. It's going to be mapped. Right? So this is going to be your entire thing will be based on your account determination. So this is how you are mapping your account determination. So you have a document type. So OS10 will have a process type. And OS 12 will lead to your OS 12. OS 12, you have your number ranges, pricing, schema, OS 1, right? And subsequently, you will have your account determination, right? So all these things are mapped under this. So this will have your mapping of your DG, customer credit memo, customer credit, okay. Customer credit memo, sorry, customer credit memo, DG customer credit memo will be mapped to this. So this is how when you see the sequence, right? So broken down into 3 different sections. One is a condition contract, conditions, condition contract, maintenance, condition contract, settlement. And this condition contract settlement will be leading to my condition process types. Condition process type will be leading to my condition settlement document type. Settlement document type will be defining what is going to be my pricing procedure. And this pricing procedure is defined based on my pricing schema, which is defined, right? Which pricing procedure does. And based on your accounting key, account determination is based on your accounting key, which is going to be determined which account determination, which is going to be mapped. And this is the entire setup. So it looks to be complex, but when you break it down into individual sections, right? So each one will have its role to play in terms of the configurations. Is this clear?
Yes, Ram. So Ram, in where we can check the which procedure system is determined. I mean, when you create a WCO, so there we can see the which procedure system is determined.
There you cannot see. There you cannot see because that is mapped over here. Yeah.
Yeah. So how can we check that which procedure system is determining?
See which procedure system is determining for what?
When we create a sales order, so we check the pricing procedure. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Now you have shown one pricing one procedure which is like 08 for rebate.
Okay.
So that rebate, so that procedure system is also determined somewhere. When you create the WCO or
okay. So this is based on your this thing, right? 1 minute, wait.
Yeah.
So if I see this one, so under your customer credit memo, right?
Yes, yes.
So you see here under this, if you get into details here, right? A17J05.
Yeah, this is
this is what you wanted, right? So it's determining this. How it's getting determined is basically through this
schema and
through this particular document type, right? So if you see here, so if I come back, okay, this is basically OS 12. OS 12 is mapped to your OS, right? OS, which is your document schema group, and document schema group is map to the settlement document type, which is going and triggering this pricing procedure, which is referring to the pricing procedure A17J05. Right?
Yes, yes. And Ram, also the drop down is coming. Please go back.
Okay.
Go back. When you are yes, say document type. So this drop down, how it is coming? That configuration is also there.
Yeah, all these configurations are also there. So here, when you see here, we are defining your sales rebate, right? If there is specifically because you have your sales rebate, and if there is a reversal, it goes to OS 14. Each one is a document type here.
Okay.
So here, if you see, if I go back, wait, let me show you. So when you see your sales rebate, customizing settlement document type. So you see here, all these things are there.
Okay.
So when you see here 0S14, which basically sales rebate reversal. Reversal will have a different document type if you're reversing it. And this will be hitting your text determination OS. OS again will be based on your thing, based on which it will hit a different thing. And this will go and hit your account determination. So like this, it will go and hit all your accounts.
Okay. And condition type is also coming from there only because
condition type is coming from there because so this is linked to your condition type is linked to your condition type groups, right?
Yes.
Condition type is linked to your condition type groups. Condition type groups is linked through the settlement document type, settlement process type, and it is settlement process type is having your condition type groups, right?
Yes.
So when you see your settlement process types, let me show you. So you have your settlement process types. Settlement process types. So you see here, the settlement process type is having your field status groups, right? Because settlement process type is linked to your settlement document type. Settlement document type will have a condition type group, right? Condition type group is in turn mapped to the list of conditions there.
Okay.
That's where you'll have all these things linked together.
Actually, need to check the complete configuration now.
Yeah. So yeah.
Because it's very complex.
No, now you understood the structure, right? So now you've understood the structure, because it looks very complex if you see the document as one stretch. That's the reason I'm breaking down into individual sections and trying to explain so that how each one is linked, so that you get a complete picture of from where to where everything is linked. So there is a document as well here. You can refer to this document. Materials, there is something called as your condition contract management. This is a 52-page document if you see here. Completely about condition contracts. Entire set of things that we discussed today. With the configuration steps, how each thing is different. You can refer to this document. If you have anything, you can come back to me.
Okay, Ram, in ECC, we were using the one requirement is 24 requirement in the same document, right?
Yeah.
So there is no use of that one in that.
In this thing, there is no, because it's not because you are using 24 because you are having a requirement type of 24, right? And based on which you used to have an accrual key.
Yeah.
Right. Now the procedure is completely different. Here you are not defining it in the pricing procedure. It itself determines a different procedure based on your schema group there, which is mapped. Right. That's the reason now when you're defining it, you'll have to have a different set of pricing procedure which is linked through your schema group.
Okay.
That's where you map it. Yeah. That's what I said. Your settlement management is changed to compare to your rebate that was being used.
Yes.
Okay. So we can discuss anything. You can come back. You can discuss that in the next session.
So Ram, what will be covered in the next class?
Next one, I'm going to cover the BRF plus output.
Okay. BRF plus for billing document and sales document both.
It's a billing document and sales order. Yeah.
Sales order.
Sales order. Yeah.
Okay.
That will be common across all this purchase document everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, because like how your condition contract, see, purchasing is aligned to your settlement, your AATP. There's a purchasing involvement. Where there is a condition contract, there is a purchasing involvement. BRF, there is a purchasing involvement. So we're trying to cover SD and MM together under these things, and separately whatever is left behind from the thing will be covering in the purchasing side of it. When you discuss after the BRF, I'm going to touch base on the purchasing side.
So how many classes remaining? Ram?
Another 5 to 6 sessions, 5 to 6 sessions.
Okay.
5 to 6 sessions I'm done. Because I'll be discussing about the purchasing thing separately, whatever is left. Then we'll have to get into the MRP level discussions and then DDMRP, and then we close this discussions.
Okay.
So it takes another minimum 5 sessions I'm talking
about. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. So let us continue next session.
Yeah.
With the BRF. Sure.
Thank you for attending the session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also, feel free to ask your questions in the comment section below, and we will reply to them at the earliest.